Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ministry Matters with Chris Stinnett. I am Chris Stinnett, and today I want to answer the question, what good is a preacher? Years ago, I was taking a teen home from a youth activity at the church building, and he suddenly turned to me in the car, and he looked at me, and he said, "So, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm the preacher." And he said, "Yeah, but I mean, what do you do for a living?" In that same location, when I was preaching for that same congregation, I went out to pick up a homeless guy one time, a young man, and I took him to retrieve his meager belongings and get him into a different shelter. I took him, gave him some food, and set him up. And while he's in the car with me, he suddenly turned to me and said, "So, are you like religious, or is this just a business?" Both of them had the attitude that a preacher has no real value in the world. Who needs a preacher? And much of the world would echo that same sentiment. After all, when do you need a preacher? You only need a preacher for a wedding or a funeral. And those are just traditional ceremonies that have no real significance in the world anyway. So many of the people go throughout their lives and they remain both ignorant and unconcerned about what is really more than half their lives. You and I know that people are both physical creatures and spiritual creatures at the same time. But much of the world goes through life not realizing that they have a spiritual life to them at all, and they wonder why they're miserable all the time. Well, God has addressed that, not too surprisingly, in Ecclesiastes 7:29, a book that's devoted entirely to wisdom. Ecclesiastes 7:29 points out, God made men upright, but men have gone in search of many schemes. To put it differently, He made us right, and we messed everything up. We decided we're going to do things our way. And when we do things our way, things really come apart in a hurry. We messed up. And it's all our fault. It's not Mama and Daddy's fault. It's not society's fault. It's not the school system's fault. It's not a political system or an economic system fault. We're to blame. 100%. It's our fault that we've done this. Yet, in His grace, God has provided a way for us to be redeemed and restored to genuine humanity. And somebody has to make that known. That redemption and restoration comes through the power of Jesus Christ. And somebody has to let the world know that that's the case. And that's the preacher's job. Our job is to train and motivate people, to train them to come to Jesus Christ and follow His teachings, obey Him, and truly be a Christian, and then motivate them to keep that up day after day after day. Okay, it's training and motivation to redemption and restoration through Jesus Christ our Lord. That's our job. And I'm going to talk a lot about training and motivation, training and motivation, training and motivation, training and motivation, training and motivation. It's a whole lot like the job of the military. See, no one goes to the military members and says, "Why do we pay you to wear those funny clothes and live in far-flung places? We're not at war. Why don't you do something productive with your life?" Nobody says to a coach, "What do you do all day? You only work 4 hours a week, and you tell people to get out there and do things that you personally cannot do. All you do is watch videos." We can call it game film if you want to, but you just watch videos and you draw diagrams of plays and you tell other people what to do. Why don't you get a real job? Well, the point of training and motivation is to develop to your greatest ability. And the whole point of the military and a coach is to be a part of a bigger unit that's getting something really wonderful done. What good is a drill sergeant or a company commander in the military? Well, they're no good at all. They're no good except to the military and to those who are defended by the military. And then, then it's a matter of life or death. What good is a football coach? None. That's no good at all, except That the coach is the difference between winning and losing to the team and to everybody who is involved with the team and to the development of those players. What good is a preacher? None. Except to human beings and to those who want to become human beings. Then the preacher can be the difference between life and death, between winning and losing. Let me finish by saying this to preachers. Preachers, you need to understand your work. Honestly, you need to understand your work. As an example, a custodian, in my experience, custodians are often very unhappy with their jobs. And they're unhappy because they think the job is to keep the building clean. And you can't do that. There are too many people who use the building. There are too many people in and out of the building. Things will inevitably get messed up. And the custodians are often unhappy about that because they think their job is to keep the building clean. It's not. Their job is to make the building ready for its next use. The idea is to use the building, and the custodians make it possible to use the building by getting it ready for its next use. They need to understand their job correctly. Preacher, you need to understand your job correctly. Your job is not to save souls. That's Jesus's job. He will take care of that. Your job involves, first of all, recruiting people to discipleship to Jesus Christ. And then it involves training them to obey and imitate Jesus Christ. And then your job is to motivate them to continued faithfulness to Jesus Christ every single day. Recruitment, training, motivation, that's what a preacher is good for. And that's what ministry is really all about. It is obvious that ministry matters. And as always, friends, like, subscribe, and share because ministry matters. And God bless you.